What's going on, everybody? Today I have some Mysterio highlights that I want to share from my Variant 3 run. This dude actually came in handy quite a bit. I would say Mysterio, overall, just a kind of quick review of him is he's got some somewhat odd utility. And it's utility that it's not always that easy to find exactly where you want to use it, but there are a few things that I want to show off, and throughout this video you're going to see what I'm talking about. So the first fight here is up against Rogue. And this is actually pretty straightforward. His first utility that I want to show off here is just his heal block, and it is a passive heal block, and that's why it's able to work against this Rogue. Because Rogue, she has a 1% regen, and with the amount of health that she has, that regen's pretty serious. You can overcome it through just raw damage with someone like Star-Lord after you build up enough, but another way to tackle this is just to find some way to negate that healing, and through passive heal block you can certainly do that. And the Mysterio's passive heal block, it's just it happens every time you end your combo in a light attack. You'll get that passive heal block, and I believe it only has a 1-second duration. It's either 1 or 2 seconds, I can never remember, but then you add 2 seconds for each poison gas charge that Mysterio has. And the way he gets poison gas charges is ending a combo in a medium attack, whether it is a just double medium or full 5-hit combo ending medium, or anything in between. Or if he's awakened, he has a gray cooldown timer that you can see up there that mirrors the poison gas image, and every time that goes around, he'll generate a poison gas charge. So now that I'm back up to 3 of those things, the heal block has a pretty decent duration to it. And, I popped my special 3 here just to amplify my damage to make the fight go by a little bit faster. But I would say if your Mysterio is not awakened, you might not want to pop the special 3. It's not, I don't know if it's, it's a little bit more difficult to get the poison gas charges back up. And by the time you build them back up and then apply the heal block, that extra damage that you got from the special 3, might not have really paid off anyway. I'm not running suicides at all for any of the clips in this video, but I think Mysterio is very suicide friendly. He's poison immune, so you only take that little bit of damage up front. And a lot of times, I'm only popping my my special 3 for some of these fights anyway. You are going to see some other utility. I'm going to use my special 1 actually a lot for one of the fights in this video. So, in some cases he's suicide friendly, in others maybe you don't want to run him. But in any case, that Rogue goes down pretty easy. It took 124 hits in total. Like I said, may have taken less if I had suicides, but all in all, not bad. Alright, this Iron Man Infinity War is up next. The node itself isn't anything too crazy. It's explosive personality, so I just can't really attack into him while he's blocking. And, at this point, Iron Man Infinity War, he's been out for a while. I think a lot of people kind of get the idea of how to counter this guy. Either when he gets into that final 15% phase, you either want to only do heavy attacks from there, or you want to land a lethal blow some point prior to that 15% threshold. This way you don't even have to deal with his extra armor ups and his auto block and stuff like that. And that's the route I'm going to go. But what I want to call out in particular here is just when the final blow happens, because he still has a lot of health left when I land that final killing blow, and you're going to see it's pretty awesome. So in this case, I'm going to utilize Mysterio's poison, which he applies a poison whenever you land a heavy attack, as long as you have at least 1 poison gas charge. And the damage is increased by the number of poison gas charges, and it's also increased by Mysterio's special 3. The special 3 here, it increases Mysterio's attack by a pretty hefty amount, and then it also amplifies any kind of poison damage that you're dealing. So in a moment here, I'm actually going to let the clip just play itself out. I just got to build up a few poison charges real quick. I just got it from the Awaken ability. I'm going to get another one from the Awaken ability, basically right at the same time as I'm doing that final medium attack. Now I'm going to get a heavy, and I'll let you just see the clip for itself. This is not going to kill him, is it? Holy crap, that killed him. Oh my goodness. Wow. So clearly I was not expecting to do all that damage. That was pretty nuts. Now it is variant 3, so tech champions, any debuff that they have, they do have a 10% increased duration for each tech champion on your team. So it was a longer duration than normal, but still the damage that was normal damage. It just wouldn't have lasted quite as long in other content. Anyway, next fight is up against Emma Frost, and I kind of accidentally stumble upon a strategy here for Emma. You're going to see, actually, I'm going to let the clip once again kind of play itself yeah, I really something kind of cool with Mysterio's Special 1 and Emma Frost in particular that works out very nicely. Let's not screw this up now, man. We're almost there. Oh boy. Okay. Saved me. Thank you. Huh. And now I've got willpower healing. Guys, that was totally on purpose. So that was not totally on purpose, if you couldn't tell. I knew how Mysterio's Special 1 worked prior to this fight, so I knew, if I popped the Special 1 and I accidentally got hit, I would heal back some health. So that part I knew. And actually, I guess I should say exactly how it works. So, based on the number of poison gas charges you have, you're going to gain you get a passive ability really, that anytime you get hit, you're kind of storing that damage, and then you actually reflect that damage. You'll see that Emma Frost, whenever I heal, Emma Frost takes a pretty decent chunk of damage as well. She takes back 75% of the damage that she dealt during that time. And I heal 100% of the damage taken. But because I also have the recovery mastery, increasing that healing by 15%, I heal for more damage that I'm taking, and that's how my health bar, each time this happens, is just able to go up a little bit. If you're played well enough, you can finish the fight with a full yellow bar. Now, I make some other mistakes here, and yeah, you're gonna see me just kind of get hit sometimes when I don't have that level 1 passive going. And also block damage does not count. You do not heal back the block damage. So it's a bit risky. Again, when it comes to Mysterio, he's just one of those champions where it's just this kind of odd utility where you can't really count on this in every situation. The only situation you could really count on this to be effective is when Mysterio's on defense and the AI throws a Special 1, and now you got to wait out the timer before attacking into him. But when I'm playing the character, it's again not something I could really rely on. I was mostly spamming Special 1s here just to keep Emma into her or out of her diamond form as much as possible because I want her to have more bars of power than I do. But it works out particularly well with Emma's the power sting on her Special 1 too, because you're getting all that willpower healing, and this node actually has 100% increased debuff duration, so getting a little bit of extra willpower healing each time she pops the Special 1. And yeah, it's for questing content. This is great. And this is definitely the way I would approach Emma Frost with Mysterio every single time. I try my best to evade the first part of the Special 1, and then just let my guard down, get hit by the second part. That'll deal enough damage that, or hopefully it doesn't deal too much damage to kill me. It'll do just enough that it'll drop me down, but I'll heal it right back up, and then I'll have the Poison Sting for that willpower healing. And yeah, it seems to work out pretty effectively here. You're going to see that I don't think I make too many more major mistakes throughout this, and I end with a very nice health total. Again, I'm also reflecting some damage, so if you haven't noticed that yet, it does reflect some damage. Now, Emma Frost, I mean, she's super tanky, and this node in particular has aggression armor, so it is a long fight, but still, I think it's a pretty cool strategy, and something that just kind of don't see every day with some other champions. I should also point out that the duration of this kind of damage reflect, it is increased by the number of poison gas charges, but you don't necessarily always want it increased. Sometimes you just want it to happen very quick. That quick flip of the health meter. So you don't really need to build up too many poison gas charges for this particular utility of Mysterio, but you better have at least one. And I think that's pretty much it. At some point, I am gonna let the clip kind of play itself out here once we get to the last little bit. There was one other thing that I wanted to mention about this Emma fight. Oh yeah, now I remember. So another thing they have to be kind of careful or just paying attention to is that if Emma crits, she could drop your health too low. But Mysterio does have some crit resistance to help out with that. All right, let me let this clip just kind of play itself out now. I could eat one more. Let's do it. Oh, full yellow bar. Oh, sick. So that was pretty cool, right? I thought that was pretty cool, ending with a full yellow bar. And I had to throw this in here to speak of a full yellow bar. I already made a video talking about Red Skull versus Havok in the past, but just wanted to show that Red Skull does work very well against Havok in Variant 3 as well. This is just the final little bit of the fight. And since you have actually a longer debuff duration in Variant 3 with Tech Champions at least, you can really combo your Special 1 and make sure you're continuously pushing Havok to a Special 2. So as long as you're comfortable with evading Havok's Special 2 ability, then it's you're pretty good to go to take this guy down. You could always push him to a Special 2, and if he gets close to a Special 3, then you could just block and and take that burn him a little bit with one of your armors to power drain him, and otherwise fight's not too bad. I know Havok can be a bit of a pain, so I just wanted to include this in here just in case someone was questioning whether or not Red Skull worked against Havok, since Havok was kind of at the end of the path there anyway. Okay, back to the Mysterio love. Here's Mysterio versus the final Kang fight. And this final Kang fight, this guy has some very interesting nodes. I quite enjoyed this fight that Kabam made for the final boss of Variant 3. It's pretty interesting. If you notice, Kang has a timer going around right now. It's a 20-second timer. And when that timer fully wraps around, Kang will actually heal to 100%. He will heal all the way up. But, of course, you can heal block him. Sort of. You cannot heal block him through normal means because he will... He can shrug off any type of debuffs. And I can't remember exactly how the node works, but I know there's a couple ways around it. So you could either have a poison or incinerate on this guy, and that will prevent the healing. Or if you just have a passive heal block, these types of things will counter Kang. And Mysterio, yeah, he doesn't have incinerate or shock, but he does have this passive heal block. So really, this fight is all about just kind of managing the gases that you have. And making sure that you are timing that heal block at the right time to cover when Kang is going to heal. Now, there's going to be a pretty big screw up at some point throughout this fight because the timing, it's not always that easy, especially when trying to throw these special 3s to increase my damage output. And you can see here, like, is that heal block going to cover it when when that heal happens? I don't know, but either way, I refreshed it with another combo. But if you have to bait out specials, you can't always refresh it. So just a few things to watch out for if you do bring Mysterio to this. And what ends up kind of getting me here, which is coming up, is I get a little bit greedy. And what I mean by that is the most important part of this fight is the heal block, right? It's heal block, and then, of course, you can get in some extra damage. And you can see, actually right here, let me call this part out. I'm just kind of dancing with Kang a little bit almost, trying to just line up the timings of when I want to apply this heal block. Now I know that heal block's in a good position, so now I can pop my special 3, knowing that I have the next healing covered. And that's what this fight is all about with Mysterio, just kind of managing these timings. And using the special 3 to amplify the damage, but only when you are sure that that healing of Kang's is going to be covered. So, well, Maybe I should just let you guys see what happens here. But basically, I get a little bit greedy, and I end up using my charges for poison damage. And I'll let the clip play itself for just a moment here. Is that going to last long enough? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's not. No! Oh, my God! Because I got greedy with the poison. Oh, my God. What have I done? Oh, dear Lord. Okay, well... I thought about quitting out of the fight because I knew I wasn't going to make it. I got greedy with the poison. It was unnecessary. It burned my gases so that I couldn't get as long of a duration heal block going. That was pretty painful. Oh man, that was actually very painful at the time. I tried to, I was trying to keep my cool because the fight's not over. I still have a lot of health with Mysterio, but I really wanted to get a solo on this guy, and once I complete the content, I wasn't going back in, just to try to get a solo. I wanted to get a solo when it actually mattered, when I still had the content to complete. Oh, now I push him to a special 2, so I got to be careful. Oh no, I used my special 2 to power drain him. Aha, another little Mysterio utility. I kind of forgot about that. As I used my special 2 there, and still had enough time to, kind of manage the heal block and stuff like that. But yeah, I really wanted the solo on this guy, and I didn't. There's not that many opportunities because I already fought this guy a few times, and it kind of screwed up in other times. In other ways, the other times I screwed up, it was just because he punched me in the face, full 5-hit combo, and I died basically. But here we go, back to managing the heal block and trying to just throw the special 3s to increase my damage. Again, if you have the suicide masteries, Mysterio, he benefits from them a ton just because Mysterio has a very high base attack, one of the highest in the game, and that extra 60% attack from the suicides, you will definitely notice a difference. But without them, he doesn't hit all that hard until you can pop the special 3, and then when you do pop the special 3, you notice some decent crits out of this guy. What do we got here? Let me see a crit. Okay, none of those attacks crit, unfortunately. Come on, Mysterio. What do you got in you? There we go, about an 8k. I think with suicides I was critting for about 10k, just to give a rough estimate. So, pretty decent difference in damage with suicides versus not. But, because the fight was feeling a little bit longer, I wanted to maximize my damage output, and I wanted to use my poison gases for that poison, because it is a pretty hefty poison after the special 3, and just can't always, get back around to building up those poisons and then applying that passive heal block at the right time. It's not super difficult to manage the timings if you're not using your poison gases for other things, but as soon as you start using them for other things, like the special 3 even, it just complicates it, and it just just adds one more layer of difficulty to the fight that may not have been totally necessary. So again, if you don't have Mysterio awakened and you're not generating some poison gas every however many seconds, depending on Sig ability, you might be better off just turn on suicides, never throw a special, and just keep the heal blocks going. Or if you are going to throw a special 3, just make sure you do it at the right time. Otherwise, you're going to face what I faced here, where Kang healed all the way back up to full, and well, it's still doable. I am still winning the fight at this point. I have brought things back around. I have more health than Kang does. But man, this was totally an unnecessary situation that I put myself in. Alright, so the final little bits here. I am going to go back a little bit to my greedy ways. And I am going to, at some point, throw a poison. And I think I'm also just going to let the clip just kind of play itself out from here. Thanks for watching, everybody. Poison! I didn't have the full poison up, but boom. I didn't have three gases, I mean. That was a 2-gas poison. Right at the end of my duration. Cool, man! We got the somewhat double solo on him. So, awesome.